They're obviously well known already, so
Right.
someone like Bianca, for them to carry the stuff and bring it down.
The hands are met.
I told them, walk on that side. The cops came and they pulled us off, and I said, are you together? I said, no, I don't know. I just asked them for a cigarette. They can fuck off now. Sometimes I would want, there's a funny habit that I used to have before I start actually going into a place.
Yeah.
I'll sit there for about 45 minutes, an hour, maybe an hour and a half, just watching to see if there's any, like UWC for instance, and there's a lot of security up and down to see how their movement is, how many times does he come past in a half an hour or is it an hour. And before I actually decide to even enter the premises, the yard, or the from the rugby fields or whatever it is, before I go in. And sometimes a person gets out of excitement and your stomach starts working, so you have to go for a number too quickly, and then I'm usually normally the only one that's got toilet paper.
Is it because you're a veteran now, so you know exactly the whole thing? What?
No, out of habit, I always used to keep toilet paper, and me also, I got a nose that runs even when it's not supposed to be running anyway. Long story short, that they got so used to, and they know if I go and I have a number two, then it's a definite we will be walking away with. At least they're going to get about $1,000 or $2 each.
It's a lucky charm.
So I remember the one this particular time I didn't have toilet paper, and I asked any one of the four that was there, anybody got toilet paper, and all of a sudden 4 hands came out of toilet paper.
Right.
What's going on with these people? And then as I turned around to go and find a bush or something to go behind, I turned around and I wanted to ask them give a lighter because I want to smoke a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
And as I turned around, I see all of them touching and putting their fists together. I said, yes, we're going to fucking
Payday today.
Gone to the toilet.
Oh, Jesus, Clint. Clint, let's just go back. So now, where we ended off was you were in Beaufort West,
Yeah.
right, coming down from Joburg. Let's start it from there. Beaufort West, you get caught by cops. And you get caught with a stolen vehicle, or you didn't have papers at the time.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know it was a stolen vehicle at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, like I said, as we were getting close to Cape Town, I thought, okay, we can stop and buy some alcohol.
Yes.
Stopped at the bottle store, and when I came out, there was a whole bunch of cops around this car. And busy talking to the girl, the lady I was with at the time, and the owner of the car.
Mm.
But I was driving, so I had the keys, and then the first thing they saw was my firearm. So that drew the attraction. Well, there was more on the issue of this. Is your firearm? I said, yeah. Where's your license? I said, here's my license. And they checked all those details out, and they said, well, we need to sort something out with this car, and you want to follow us to the police station. So we followed him to the police station, and they checked for certain places where you change numbers and tags, not numbers and tags, but there's a certain place on the firewall where they can see if the nose of the car has been cut off.
Okay.
Which you're supposed to get papers for anyway. Any car, if your car has an accident, and you have an accident now that the front is totally damaged, now you're going to get another front that they cut off at the scrapyard, but now they've got to give you papers for that, to say that you just purchased it with that tag number and so on.
Right.
Now, when you put it back, and when you put yours on and it's all straight, and then now you start welding on the body, they can see where that weld is, so they can tell you it's been tampered or the car's been rebuilt.
Right.
So, long story short, they turned around and said, look, well, the car's been rebuilt. He hasn't got the papers and that with him, so you can't prove it's his or... But on the other end, they can't also prove that it's a stolen or it's an illegal car. But what they'll do is they'll take his information and but they'll keep the car until he comes up with a valid paperwork, and then, which is funny enough, I think about 5 or 6 years later they picked him up for that and sent him up to Joburg for
that car.
Yeah, for that car.
Okay.
But then we had to. No, then they were still busy searching through my wallet, and they found a couple of grams of cat. And yeah, I still had to. This was Saturday morning, so they said to me, "Well, okay, I'm going to court on Monday." And hold me. So Monday came, and same time I said to them, "Look, I plead guilty."
So all three of you are held now at the cells?
No, just me, because of the
Okay, they found you with the cat,
yeah.
and then you were driving the car also.
Yeah. But
and
the car wasn't the issue because it wasn't.
Okay.
So I laid the weekend, and Monday came, and went to court, and the judge said to me they want to postpone. So I said, "Look, I'm actually from Joburg. I'm going back to Joburg. I can't go up and down, and I'm guilty of this." And I gave a cock and bull story saying, "Look, I actually don't know what it is. I don't actually do drugs. The fact of the matter is, me and my girlfriend had an argument at one of these little raves that they had, and because I was so pissed off or upset that one of my mates said, try this, it might take the edge off."
Right.
And to be honest, I was going to take it, but and I put it in my wallet. I totally forgot it was even there. So she gave me a suspended sentence. So at least I know that I knew then that I didn't have to worry about coming back down to Beaufort just for a court case that would have been a waste of money. And so we had to take a train. No, we had to sleep over because we couldn't catch the train on the Monday. So we booked a ticket for the Tuesday. Took it to my father because he was in Loop Street in town with City Sprint.
Okay.
So he could pick us up there after work. And then about a week, I can't remember, it was a week and a half later, my cousin's boyfriend came to me and said, "Look, in all honesty, he's not going to be able to pay me back for the money that I put my car in the pawn for and all that, because it is a stolen car." So I was so pissed off with this, and I went there.
Were you quite close to him, or was it just a guy?
No, because I was close to him because of my cousin.
Right.
But we were all staying under the same roof at the time. We were staying by my father, and I remember the one day I was so pissed off that I couldn't get back. I wasn't going to go back to Joburg. I made up my mind already because I was going to lose everything that I had rebuilt on. And I took a 4-pound hammer, and I went. They wouldn't let me into. I was staying there, but they wouldn't let me in because I wanted to hit him with this hammer.
Okay, right.
And then a couple of vans pulled up, including this RoboCop character, and he says to me, "Well, what's the problem?" I said, "I got me into something. He owes me money." And now he wants to turn around you. I didn't want to tell him.
Right.
So they said to me, "Oh, but you can't just hit him with a hammer. Why don't you take him to a small claims court?" So I said, "Well, small claim court will take long. It's not going to give me the satisfaction I'm going to get out of hitting him with a hammer anyway."
Jeez.
So that's where that's where the turn started. I turned around. I thought, I'm not going to. It took me long to build up to where I was up in Joburg. Start all over again.
And I mean,
I was tired,
When your girlfriend also, you'd broken up with her, at the time, and
yeah, my daughter's mother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the woman that I came down with, we weren't, I wouldn't say seriously in a relationship, but she also wasn't compatible, should I say.
Right.
Also arguments, that made her. She made me one of those people. I call them cowards. People that eat women.
People that eat women. Hit women.
Yeah. And I remember the first time that I ate her. It took about 7-8 hours before I even lifted a hand. But it cost me walking that time in the middle of the circle, there where we stay, there was no house, it was just a park.
Okay.
Then they put a road in the middle, and then they put the little houses. There's still a little bit of a park on the end, but as we're getting to the building section, the sand and all that was out, I walk out the front door, walk 1.5 blocks, go back into the circle, come up, and back into the back of the house. And I must have done it about 15, 20 times. My cousin was still sleeping in the room in the front. And she would walk behind me and shout and scream and saying things that might have been private about drugs or
And you guys are having an argument right now about, or what would spark that argument?
What happened? My dad took my cousin and him and a lady that he was getting intimate with, or he was involved with. They went to Pirates first, then to Gonzo's. Gonzo's is closed now, and apparently the lady that I was involved with, and Tasneem. Now Tasneem's more of a sister to me because my father took her under the wing because she reminded him of my sister that overdosed. She just lost her mom and all that. And she was going through the same problems that my sister was. So they were busy dancing on the dance floor. And apparently Jenny turned around and grabbed her by the hair and started dragging her around the dance floor saying, leave Clint alone. Which would never, we would, even till today, I see Tasneem, funny enough, Tasneem's actually staying in the place that we were staying
Okay.
at. And I was pissed off because, I put my father and him, under, it embarrassed him. So if I'm pissed off, I'm that sort of person, just leave me alone till I calm down, then I'll come and talk to you. But if you're going to nag and make an argument out of it, then it keeps me boiling the whole time. And I said, plus minus about 7 to 8 hours later, I'm still walking and trying to, I'm not getting my space. And I remember walking into my cousin's room to ask her for a cigarette, and she said to me, she shouted, "Watch out!" I turned around and yes, Jennifer's was a big bloody, what's the name, knife. She was going to stab me in the back, and I turned around and I hit her that I had to pick her up afterwards and go and put her on the couch. And I regret to say from that time, it's after the first smack that you, even if it's a smack or if a push, that aggression that you give them, it starts getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and eventually it becomes a blue eye, and then that it got to the stage that around the corner from us was a place that we used to sit and smoke a lot, and I could go in there any time I wanted to. It doesn't matter 2 or 3 o'clock, because the people that were staying there, one guy was an alcoholic and a druggie at the same time, and he'd eat his kids' porridge and their food, even though they have to go to school in the morning. I'm the only one that used to come there, and first thing, electricity, go buy some electricity. The kids got something to eat, have they eaten tonight, and always made sure. And even now, I see the kids, they're big now, and okay, the one doesn't remember. She remembers me vaguely, but the mom, luckily, she stopped about 3-4 months ago. She's looking back to her old.
Gained weight and
The father had, they haven't been together for years now.
Okay.
And like I said, I got to that stage. I was standing there, and there was another lady friend that we were like best friends, but I suppose we wanted to get involved, but we didn't get involved because we didn't want to. We were too scared it was going to spoil what we already had.
Right.
And I was standing on. I came out, and by the gate, leaning on the gate, watching me. And I turned around and gave her, Tessa, a kiss on the cheek and a hug. And I turned around and I walked towards Jenny. And like I said, the beating on her got so bad. I wouldn't beat her out for no reason until this specific time. That she opened the gate, and as she opened her mouth to say something, I grabbed her, hit her with the head. I turned around and I walked away, and I said, you know what? You already got yourself kicked out of the house, staying in the back room there by where we were. We're basically not together anymore, but you're still causing problems, and I said, I'll make sure you got your food, your drugs, and whatever every single day, even though we're not together. but you made me a person my mother would hate. My mother would beat the living shit out of me for the things I've been doing to you alone.
Mm.
I mean, okay, the breaking in or stealing of this to my mom, she'd always say to me, you're not a bad boy. Why are you, when you're going to wake up and stop the shit that you're doing?
But at the time that you had this aggression and you guys are fighting, are you also drugged up at that time?
No, not all the time. No.
So you're just fighting out of just pure frustration and anger and
Yeah,
why are you? I'm trying to understand as to
the thing is, was all the stress of losing the family I was trying to build, and this one, I mean, all the stresses of losing the business and all that too, and figuring out what I want to do with my life at the time, and being involved with drugs, you're sort of stuck in that rut where the gear's not turning anymore. It's not going backward or forward. It's just
in the same same place and just going in circles.
You want to get out of that environment, and you just don't know how. And as soon as you think, okay, I'm going to do it this way, and then 1 or 2 hours of drugs, and you forget about it. Then you get back into thinking about that again, and now it's this one that's nagging because you haven't got enough time for them, or you haven't got, I should say, they expect you, a certain woman expect you, just come lie down, knowing there's no money, there's no food, there's no nothing. Now, okay, I can maybe make a plan and I can go past a friend or two and get 1 or 2 items that I can change. Or someone said to me they were looking for instance, Yu-Gi-Oh cards or books or something like that, or they're looking for Apple charger that people want to charge them like $3,000 for. And I know someone's got it. I know he needs this, so I can go and swap that for him and make it $600-700 off. Just a cable, and never mind the charging block with it. So a woman like I said, come lie down for 5 or 10 minutes, and they know you're tired, and they know you're going to end up falling asleep anyway. So when you wake up, you're so pissed off because you didn't go in, and when you get to the person that you wanted to, either they're not there or the thing that you want is already
gone already. Someone gave it to someone else.
So it gets me to a boiling point.
So you're basically saying that you didn't want to go, you didn't want to lie down because you know if you lie down you're going to fall asleep, and that opportunity then is going to pass you by.
80% of the time it works out like you end up losing out on, or you do get the thing, and by the time you get there, the person that you're going to take it to has already organized one, even though they paid maybe $300 more than it would have got it for by you. And it's stressful because certain women I've been involved with, it's like this, they don't actually, at that time they don't care, they just want you to lay down or whatever. Knowing you don't have money, you don't have breakfast, but as soon as you open your eyes first thing in the morning, I'm hungry, make a plan. And it's
they say to you,
yeah, I'm hungry, make a plan. How am I supposed to make a plan at 7 o'clock in the morning? You just open your eyes and the first thing you say to me is, make a plan. But then you want to let it sleep the whole day, and when you open your eyes again, I'm still hungry. You made a plan.
And when they say make a plan, what's that expectation from you, of you? What are they expecting you to do?
I must make a plan to get them a plate of food or to.
But what exactly are they saying? I mean, they know what a plan is, and the plan is to do what? I mean, how are you going to get that money if you?
It's either most of the time it's they know I got a lot of people that I can. Especially by now, I can leave the house with 2 bags empty. And when I get back, the bags are full. And this is not doing anything illegal. This is just by what they call bartering.
Okay.
We're just changing certain things for something, or certain things that are left by someone.
Okay.
That I know that I'm not going to use, and they're going to use eventually, even though they're going to wait maybe a month. And I said, okay, well, help me out with that and that. So it doesn't cost me to end up paying or taking anything out. Most of the time. But then at the end of the day, if I don't have any of those in place, we're in a plan of, then it's obviously doing something illegal. And okay, so I'm not proud of it. It's not nice to do that sort of thing. And you might hear people saying, that is a bloody legend. As far as I'm concerned, as far as they're concerned, he's probably, if not the best, he's one of the best cat burglars. I don't call it a housebreaker or anything. And he can a name upgrade.
They
Should
call
I
you the
say.
cat burglar.
They say he's one of, if he's not the best, he's one of the best. There's some people that in other people's presence, they turned around and said, you know what, me and my girlfriend, we used to operate, I tell you, we annihilated places. We changed.
You and your girlfriend at the
No,
time? Oh.
this other guy, I heard him say that. One of my friend's place when I walked in, he said, you know, but this hook here, there isn't for him. He'll get you in and out. I heard cops say that you standing over there, and he must actually stand over there because this man makes holes where there can't be holes. And I didn't even get morphin touch that day.
You didn't get what?
Morphin touch.
Morphin touch?
Yeah, they take you into the police station and you take your prints on the machine and they check your
Oh, your
warrants.
biometric fingerprints. Oh, morpho.
And,
Okay.
he said, you know, this actually, besides his record of housebreaking and all that, at the time he said to this guy that was with us, it's actually because of that person that we got taken down because they found a button in his bag and he said it wasn't his. But his ID book was in the bag.
Oh, okay.
So they took us anyway and for more fun touch. And he says, this ox escaped from Paulsmore. As far as I recall, he's only been convicted once for housebreaking, and he's had over, he said about 70 cases. I said, no, I've had a bit more than that. And I know the second time they raided there, I was the only one, everybody else had to lay flat, I was the only one allowed to stand. And the same law enforcement officer that took us in the previous time still said, have you ever told them or packed them out about the story of your escape and all that? I said to him, I haven't bothered, they're too busy. He says to me, what, a tick or what? I says, either that or they're falling asleep from the button.
Right.
So
tell me about that. That's interesting. Your escape. Tell me about that. I'm interested in that escape. How did you get into Paulsmore?
Okay, this was, funny enough, my first housebreaking conviction.
Okay.
And in all honesty, as a housebreaker, I never did. And
Clint, all guys that get convicted, they always say they never did the crime. You know this.
Ironically, but okay, it might not always be true, but in this case, what happened was, I was leaving from. There's a place. There used to be a place in well, it's still there, but it's dilapidated and all that now. In the Vote. You know the Chinese place in what's the name? One time we went to go look for magic.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, not magic for Bianca and magic. Magic now. Behind you on the other side of the road.
Okay.
You go down the side road, down the alley.
Right.
There used to be a butcher. It's all broken and all that. What's it? Uli 8 was what it used to be. There's a Chinese electronic place before you get Hollywood bets.
Maybe if I see it, I'm not. But okay.
Anyway, that sort of places where most of the people go and they sit and smoke. Now it's so dilapidated. The cops actually, there's three ways that they can actually come in if they want to raid the place. But anyway, I bought some items from one or two oaks that came in there with it. And I was going home, but now this was walking in the same direction of the place that was broken into. Now, anybody with a bit of brains would know that nobody's going to walk into the same direction of the place that
they're just broken into.
They're just broken into. On top of that, they said that, well, the owner of the place, they charged me for attempted murder as well because they said this person chased him with an axe. And his wallet was taken, it was plus minus about 300-400 rand. I had almost 7,500 rand on me, which I also ended up losing because they put it in evidence as to say it was his money. So I don't know if he got that total amount or what the story is, or if the cops took the rest and just gave him his 400 rand back, or gave him, took 400 rand and said that here's whatever it is that he took from you. Long story short, we went to court, and I explained to him that, that I didn't say to him I purchased it. I said I picked up the bag. Now, there's still a whole bunch of items that were taken that weren't there. There was only a fraction of whatever these people took. That
also, they found some of the items that were stolen from the house in the bag that you were carrying.
Yeah.
Right.
So now they're automatically trying to place me on the what they call it, to kneel on the premises. So now they charge me for attempted murder and housebreaking. Turns out they didn't find the axe, so the attempted murder fell away. Now, according to the items, first of all, the amount of money I had on me and the amount of money that this character said that he had on him, it doesn't even come close to that.
Okay.
So, and even a person with that sort of money, why is he going to go housebreaking? Then, now going according to items, where's the rest of the items? But going on that, they still found me guilty.
Okay.
And they gave me a year for housebreaking. And I went into...
What year was that?
2009, I think.
2009.
Yeah. No, it was 2010.
Okay.
2010.
Right.
The case started about 2009, but 2010 was when I got sentenced. And
when we are doing Vuzelas and World Cup.
When the World Cup started.
Right.
I don't even think it had started, but they were just getting. It was about 2 or 3 days before the tournament started, whatever. That I had escaped because.
Hang on. Before you got convicted in 2010 also,
yeah.
or 2009, or 2009.
No, 2009 was when the case started.
Case started, right.
It dragged on until 2010, I think, April months.
Right, okay.
And then, like I said, May months, around about the time the World Cup was supposed to get into, they upped the police presence on the highways and all that, so, which made me believe they were looking for me when I...
Sorry, hang on, before we get there, Clint. You now get convicted and you get sent to Pollsmoor. All right. Now in Pollsmoor, are you in this? Because there's different sections in Pollsmoor, right?
Okay, but people that got a year and less, they go to, I think it's medium C or yeah.
Right.
Which is supposed to be almost like a minimum prison.
Security type, because I mean it's house robbery. It's not like you didn't murder someone or get convicted for murder, I guess. And also
anybody with 2 years and up, they go over to the other side, and then people that are worse than that, they go strictly a maximum, which at the moment I fall under the category of maximum. Doesn't matter what sentence I get for what crime.
Why?
Because any person that's escaped from any facility becomes a maximum straight away.
Right.
You're not allowed to get a job inside prison. You're not allowed to. You're under stricter surveillance the whole time.
Okay, but hang on. Before you want to get to you're getting to
so
now
I'm in medium C.
But now you're in medium C. But now and then when you get in there, what are you? Do you get involved in gangsterism? Do you what? Because I mean that's your first conviction that you had. And that's the first time where now you're actually in prison and for a long time, right?
Yeah,
the other ones were like you're in and out.
It's always on the trial.
Yes.
Yeah, funny enough, I wasn't involved in any of that sort of thing at the time. I know the 27s and the 28s wanted me. 27 specifically wanted me to become a number, but then the number was still. I'd say it was right then. I would say.
It was right.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and the numbers used to keep to themselves the way they should be, strictly according to the rules and regulations that they've got. And today it's more like you're a funky 27 or you're a mafia or Cape Town Scorpion 28 or. The number doesn't say that. The number says you don't join any of those things. You just 26, 27 or 28 strictly. inside or outside. And then it was still right. And then I wasn't really worried about the number then. And then I got a job. Well, you got to wait about a week or so before they place you into the working. You got the A section and B section. Now, A section is where they see where they're going to put you. They ask you a question. Okay, well, what jobs did you do, and what can you do, or what are you capable of doing? Can you only sweep a room, or can you? And they came. I could have got a job as working in by the shop, or because I've been managers of shop and restaurants and so on, or I could go in as a chef type thing. And to me, to go in as a chef is actually a better option.
Go in as a chef,
or
right.
cook, and is a better option because you can make more money that way. You can run a shop, but I mean everything's on stock, so that's watched carefully. So you can't really move tobacco and or take tobacco and make money. Whereas when you're in a kitchen, there's foods that go off. There's foods that are replaced, and so your loss on what's name works out to be a benefit because now you can make things disappear and end up back in the prison and
yeah. So there's lots of So in the wastage, it's difficult to quantify because you can say a cabbage is rotten, and it can look rotten, but meanwhile you can take all that stuff off and then cook it and then
even food-wise, if you make the portions a bit smaller and it, now you look at the end of the day, now you got a 3/4 box of let's say calamari or hake that you've now skimmed off because you've cut it in such a way that you got little pieces of hake. But you've cut the one piece that you've now ended up to go out and sell. Now you've got, let's say, 1.5 kilos of strips of hake. Now you batter it and you cook it. You take it in, it's 150 rand for, let's say, a platter of hake,
right,
or chicken or steak or whatever it might be. So you take 3 of those in the evening, and all you need to do is take a burger and give it to one of the warders that are on duty and search you when you go in. Then basically, even if you've got drugs on you, because what happens is sometimes we from the place where where all they do vegetation and all that, the people that they organise to throw the bags of dagga over where they're working, then they take it and they make it up into packages, and then because there's too much, they bring it to us. And we give them something to eat or spices, whatever they need, or sugar in it, and then we get the dagga, knowing we can make more dagga of a little sloopy, like it's not even worth rolling between in prison. It's something. Even a little bit of tobacco is. People pick up little pieces of tobacco off the floor until they make up a cigarette. So you can imagine what they pay. I mean, it's like 1 rand a sloopy or 2 rand a sloopy, 5 rand a sloopy of dagga. And now you got a big ball like this, and we open it up. And all it cost me was 5 rand, not even a 5 rand sugar. So if I take a burger with my platters, all the other stuff that are going to me that's illegal goes past because the warden's happy with what he's got.
Right.
Even if I've got to organise a Coke or okay, nowadays a Lux score, so if you organise a score and you're safe. I've seen tog bags go over by the entrance without being searched,
right,
because of a cool drink and or 50 rand that you're not even allowed to have.
So you were a chef when you were.
Yeah, I don't know what's Manasi called in English. Mezzanine.
Manasi is not the quarters.
It's like almost like a mess hall.
But it's a mess hall. Yes, it's a catering hall where all. I know the Manasi from the army day, where all the.
But you don't pay at the army. It's free in the army.
No, it's not free, but it's very subsidized. So it's very cheap for the officers. It's very cheap, yeah.
So they had waiters and they're running around there, and like I said, I got a job doing the cooking there, and it was odd though because normally you don't work on weekends after hours, should I say?
Okay.
So when it comes to 4:30, 5 o'clock, it's locked down for the whole prison, and because they had a function for one of the warders. On their birthday, we were cooking a bit late, and
Right. Or the
I mean,
cooks for the ones who cook for
yeah.
the warders
Yeah,
in
and the
Manasi.
waiters did, obviously.
And the waiters, right.
So I know everybody was in like a hall type of thing next to them, and I but joined onto it.
Okay.
Hardly ever gets used unless for functions. But anyway, long story short, we'd finished cooking and all that. I mean, we did prime meat, we did stews, we did basically almost like a whole buffet type of thing, and everybody could sort of pick. But now, as they were taking the meat in from the braai area, I came out and had a cigarette. Well, not a cigarette, rolled a tobacco cigarette. And I looked at the corrugated iron fucking, what those plates that they got over the braai area.
Okay.
And I could see that it was so old and rusted that there's holes. I'm talking about big holes, small, everywhere. If you had to climb up on this side, where you could, basically the only place you could see where you could climb up and walk from here to you're going to fall through somewhere along the line. But then when I looked to the wall on this side, I see there's almost like a railway track, one single railway track next to the pole that's holding that I could find a way to climb up there.
Right.
And I climbed up and I still peeped over the wall and I could see where all the people that work for the prison actually stay, the little flatlets and all that. And then I got up there and I realized there's a box cutter. In other words, it's about so wide. And I didn't notice that the roof looked level, but you'll only notice it once you actually, that it's at a slight bit of a tip because of the box cutter.
Right.
So water could run, but now it wasn't raining when I got up there. But the moment I decided to lay down, it started raining, and 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes into this, I was sopping wet because all the water was running straight down
Onto you.
me, and then down to the box. And I thought, no, fuck this.
But in your mind at that time, are you thinking, okay, hang on, I can actually get out of here?
Oh, as soon as I got in the box cutter, because if they had to climb up on, there's no way to climb up on the front of the Mayosi.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't be able to see. I doubt they would be able to see a box cutter there anyway. So they would just see the roof that looks level. They'd just see the wall there where I climbed over, and then because there's only about so much of the wall that's sticking out, so they wouldn't think twice to come there. And if they had to climb on the roof of the fire area and walk across, they're going to fall through. So they're not going to chance climbing through to come and check on this side.
Right.
But I said I got up. I was about to climb down. I said, no, this is a bad idea. And then I heard the other inmates turning around and said, if they get him now, they're gonna fuck him up. So I'm sitting there asking, well,
so now all the warders, everyone that knows that there's one person missing and it's you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, it doesn't spread so far that everyone. You can still hear the party going on, but so it's sort of still hush hush because I'm not sure whether I'm actually escaped or anything like that.
Right.
They're looking in toilets and they're hidden places that know of it. But anyway, I turned around and said, well, they're going to fuck me up when I get down here. And even if I do it so skillfully that, or in a way that they don't see me climbing down, they're going to fuck me up anyway. So I'm already in this situation, so they must work for it. If they're going to
They must work for it.
They must find me. So
and this is going on in your head.
Yeah, so I decided to lay down. I remember I lay there, shivering. It was cold for about, it's basically, give or take about the same time of the year now, and you feel how it is now. And in the rain, it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And all I've got on me is my boxer shorts, a brand new pair of tekkies, white vest or white t-shirt. You can't wear anything else other than that because if you look like a normal civilian, then they're not going to think twice. But they're looking for someone. All they need to look for is anybody with a white shirt, because you're obviously not going to wear your orange cap. You're going to take it off. And I've got the orange cap over that. It's like a overall. If it's not the overall, then it's a pants and a t-shirt or a shirt sort of thing. So I lay there for about 4 hours before the mess hall actually closed up. And I noticed, but right next to the mess hall there's a pub. The pub was still open, so I still, in my paranoia and being drugged up on crystal meth at the time.
So while at the bar, not only you smoking a cigarette, so you also took crystal meth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or going to the toilet to smoke doesn't, the things that they can't smell it, they can't, so it's easier to get away with. And I remember, I decided, climb down, and then where the wood is under the bar area, I even took a dirty blanket. It was so cold, and I went underneath there and kept myself warm because from the roast and from the rotisserie and the brine in it, the dry areas were still like a warm.
Okay.
So I kept warm like it, and I'm looking at this is a courtyard closed off from any place but the Mayosi. So you can't really get out there. And if you climb over the wall, to the left you'd have what they call, there's a little petrol garage there, and there's it's now a gym. That time it was a cafe or a shop, but they closed already.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw that those louver windows sort of lifted up, and it sort of opens like a...
Yes. It's like those glass windows on, and then you just put one up, and then it all go flat like that.
So
right.
Those, from experience, I've known all you need to do is manage to lift it up, and you just knock the sides, and it slides out.
Okay.
So I slid about 3 of those in, and I went into the Mayosi. And I wanted to get to the section where the waiters' clothes were, because at that time they were wearing almost like a blue or white long sleeve shirt and blue or grey long pants.
All right.
They weren't in orange cap while they were working as waiters. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to there. So I sort of got into the one office in the front. I recall there was a safe there, but I wasn't worried about the safe or anything like that at the time. I was worrying about getting something to wear so I could
be warm.
And get out without being noticed as a prisoner. And I found a Parker wet and dried jacket of one of the warders, but it had a badge of their bowling, old man's marbles.
Oh, like that bowling on the lawn, lawn bowling. Yes.
I had the badge of that on for Paul Small's prison, and then I found a raincoat, like a long one, and I know my lighter just went dead on me, but I found one of those long lighters that you get into sort of bend and you can...
for when you want to light up a braai area or whatever. Yes, I see them.
So I took that with, and I still took 2 Cokes, and I took 2 tablecloths because I knew somewhere along I was going to come across some barbed wire in there, so I could use the tablecloth.
Clint, are you telling me that in you thinking about all these things?
This wasn't
no plan, but I mean,
plan.
while you're in that, you just think, okay, I need to take tablecloths because in the future this might come in handy, and wow.
So I remember, now I took the orange cap off, put the raincoat on, and I jumped over the wall by the petrol station. Now there's one road, then you get the flats in it, and there's a big rugby field or soccer field on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember going over, and I see cars coming down, and I don't want to, it's raining, it's pissing with rain, but I don't want to put or make myself too suspicious. So I walked a bit fast because it was raining, and didn't run or anything like that. But lucky for me, they weren't looking for, those people weren't looking for me. Other people were looking, but they just weren't looking there.
Mm-hmm.
So I cut across the rugby field, and I get to the first barbed wire, but it's a small fence, which I managed to get over easily. And then I'm on the second road, which would take me to the one exit, but the one exit, knowing that they're looking for someone, I thought...
But you're still within the Paulsmore
still on the premises.
Premises, okay.
No, I thought it was out, because what happened is I walked away from the entrance towards the highway side.
Right.
In the
The M3, the M3, that's right.
Now, as I get about 10, 20 meters away from the M3, I'm thinking, yes, I'm out. Only to find out that when I got to the side, there's a big fence about as high as this roof. Now it's got the razor wire like that, and it's got the twisted razor wire.
Yes.
And to top it all off, if you wanted to climb up there, it's not like a normal fence. It's small little blocks like this. You can barely put your fingers in. You need something like almost like those TP's hooks to put into one hole and sort of
Yes, this
all
I've
the way
seen.
up. And
Yeah,
then
right.
once you get to the top, you still got to worry about getting around the razor wire. It's sort of like this and jutting out that way. So I decided to walk away
So
from
when you see
Lakeside.
this, what are you thinking in your head now?
I'm-
Because I mean, you're thinking, flipping out. I'm gonna get. Are you thinking I need to get over this reservoir, or
Well, either that or under.
okay?
Of course, I don't know, being a prison, they might have put rocks or cement or something to stop you from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's going to take me a while to dig right past that. And I said, okay, I walk away from Lakeside side of walking in the direction of Constantius.
Right, away from the golf course towards the.
Well, no, the golf course would be on my left now because the entrance at the top.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway, as I'm walking, still fence, I come across one, also like a construction sign that's managed to fall forward onto the fence where I can get over it. Well, I couldn't really get over it because as it's laying flat, it's raining. So now I'm laying behind the sign. It's one of those signs that say, this company doing what's name construction.
Oh, those
And,
big
yeah.
blue and white, or sometimes yellow and.
Or it be that sort of sign where it says we're building this sort of complex if you want to buy into it. And
Right.
so
Right.
now, I'm laying at the back of the scene. I've got the two tablecloths. Now every time I get up when there's no cars coming down. But as soon as a car comes in, I lay flat. About 30, 40 attempts of getting this tablecloth tied at first around the one side so that I can sort of grip and go over. Now I still got to worry about the other side. Now I've got the other tablecloth tied around there. And I'm just about to get it tied around my wrists, figuring, okay, I'm just going to jump and then swing. And
But hang on now. I'm trying to picture this. You walked down. The fence is still the same barbed wire fence
Yeah.
with
yeah,
the YA sign at the top, right? And you get to now a space where you find the sign, but the sign is on the outside of the fence.
on the inside.
On the inside of the prison. Okay, right.
So now, like I said, it's laying facing the direction of the cars coming.
I hear you now. Okay.
And I think after about the 30th, I can't remember the 30th or 40th attempt to get this, I was on the verge of just jumping and just, whatever. And, I wouldn't have really hurt myself if I had to do it like that. But I think I got a bit of stage fright because eventually I climbed down and I looked at the sign and I'm thinking to myself, surely, I'm not being paranoid or stupid, but if someone's escaped from a penitentiary or custody of any sort, and there was such a sign, and I know there's towers around there, but I've never seen someone but surely somebody must be watching the sign specifically for that, or they're going to say, listen, let's go check there because there is a way. So somebody said, get away from here. So I turned around and I still keep on walking in the Constantius direction, but I right on the corner of the one side, on one corner of the prison, this is where the fence ends and the Videographer starts.
Okay.
And then it goes all the way up to the golf course's direction. And I so happen to notice that the barbed wire that comes across, so there's a gap just enough for me to scrape through, even though it might hook on my clothes or onto the... And I get through this reasonably easily, and then I'm standing in a passageway about the size, a bit smaller than the room, the width. And I come to realize, and they don't use it anymore, but in the old days they used to do it as a patrol around the prison.
Okay. It's like a no man's land between the houses and then the prison.
Yeah.
And it's just that, right.
So now, on this side's the highway, now the houses start. Now, the first house, I noticed that their Videographer, about 3 or 4 slabs are broken. So now I'm going to sit in there. First thing I look on the washing line for some clothes. Didn't see any there. So I rolled myself a tobacco cigarette. Thanks to the lighter, smoke lacking. I'm looking at this place, I'm thinking, I can actually break in here.
Gee.
Now I'm saying to myself, what, you're a stupid idiot.
You've just
You're in
broken
here,
out.
You're in here for housebreaking. You didn't commit.
Right.
You haven't even finished breaking out of the place that's holding you, and you're already thinking about breaking in. So I said, no, leave that. Okay, So now if I jump over that wall, I don't know if you know where the golf course is. You turn right and you come past the spy net on the left hand side before you get on them to the highway.
Yes, at
Okay.
the circle there, and you turn right
Yeah.
at the circle, and the left hand side there's a okay, it's
There's a
not Spy
garage.
anymore, but there's a whole lot of shops there, and then
And there's a petrol garage
there's a
there.
garage, a total
Uh,
garage.
if you get to that robot, if you look on the right hand side, there's a big little field.
Okay.
Just a, and as I jump over, I'm right there, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's just a matter of getting onto the highway and hitchhiking. But now I take 2 steps and I see blue lights, so I lay flat and make like I'm a beggy. I get up. As I want to get up again, I see another set of, and I think, yeah, you know, it can't be that bad that they're all looking, including the cops as well. So now I'm totally in the paranoid state that eventually I end up running across the road, and then you get that sort of, what's the name, where you can sit and, where on the M3 the highway comes over that road that goes towards
The side of the bridge.
Yeah.
The side of the bridge that the water
So that
runs
is where
down.
where you go onto the on-ramp,
Right.
the side of it,
Okay.
on your right-hand side, and the car's going in that, the car's direction, we're going that way.
Right.
And on that, what's the name about the trees, I stopped there and I rolled another tobacco cigarette, and I was thinking to myself, okay, they're looking for me, so I can't walk along the highway, because if I do, they're going to hitchhike, they're going to stop, or, you know, and having the brown clothes on might also make it now suspicious, because I don't know if they know about it. So I decided I'm not going to hitchhike. I'm going to go up where the fences of all the houses to Constanza, and I'm going to walk, but I'm going to drag my feet
Okay.
instead of walking, so that they can see the.
Like a shuffle type.
Yeah. So I'll walk from there to Constanza Road. When I came out that side, you know, my techies, they were brand new Adidas techies, white ones that had changed colour to brown, sort of orange green, and all that mixed
So
together.
it's muddy and it's raining and it's
So.
But what's going on in your mind, Clint, while all this happened? Are you shuffling, and are you looking behind? You think, hey, are the guys looking like what? I'm trying to understand like what's going on.
Once I was about, let's say, half a kilometre away, then I wasn't really thinking. Well, they weren't sort of in. I wasn't thinking about them at the time. As far as me, I was semi-safe. I just had to change my clothes.
Right.
So there we were staying now. I went there first.
Okay.
And my friend, a good friend of mine at the time, I explained to him exactly what happened. I said to him, I escaped and all that. So then he said, listen, they're still around, and knowing that I used to spend thousands and thousands of rands by them on drugs, because everybody used to come to me and I used to order large quantities on what they wanted. So if one wanted a 20 rand packet or 50 rand packet or 100 rand packet, I put all that money together and rather buy grams, and then end up cutting the grams into bigger sections that they would get, and still have a lot left over for me to make more bags and sell, or to smoke or whatever.
Oh, okay. So you were before you even went to you were doing your own thing on the side, where you were like selling and cutting and all.
Well, just basically benefiting for everybody, because if they bought a 20 rand packet, then it's a little. You buy a 50 rand straw, 4 or 5 people could smoke on that for basically all night. Now, a 50 rand straw probably will last you or me not even an hour. So, and it was more feasible for even druggies that were smoking. I had more drugs than them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was doing it, I wouldn't say doing it better, it's just that I was more worried about, and there where we were sitting as well was a safe place for everybody to come smoke, including the people, the hawkers on the road, and people that come from, it wasn't a hot spot at the time, so one or two of the merchants had me in such a way that if I had to phone and say, listen, I need 10, 20 grams on, and I haven't got money now, then they'd phone the one, and I said, no, I don't have to, he's giving it to me, he's going to send 5 grams, about 10 buttons. So I said to Rick, okay, I'm going to go over to my dad's, I want to go and see my cousin Tanya.
Okay.
The same cousin that, whose boyfriend was now in Joburg for the stolen car, the stolen Golf. And she was together with another guy at the time. His name was, and he was into installation of electrical fences and surveillance cams and all that. So Rick says to me, okay, she doesn't stay there by your dad anymore, but she stays there by Joanne or Jennifer's place, just 2 houses away, in the same road.
Okay.
So I went in, I knocked there. This was just after 12. And then my cousin opened up and went in. I was sopping wet. I still said to the boyfriend, you know, I need some clothes, I'm sopping wet. I came all the way from Cape Town now. He said, well, how did you get out? And when did you get out? I said to him, well, I actually got released yesterday, but because of the weather and all that, it's taken me a while to organise a lift, and eventually I plucked up the courage to hitchhike, which I couldn't even get a lift. It took me a while to get from Cape Town to here.
Right.
So, okay. Then what happened was he went up and went out to go and find me something to wear. And then I said to my cousin, okay, this is a long story short, I escaped and all this. And she says, why do you always have to be the best at catching on cuck? I said, oh, what's that mean? She says, well, you go into Jeepers police station, there's a shitload of photos there, but the biggest one is up there is yours. And you know, our Captain Clint, he's passed away now. Captain Clint used to be after you because of, as he says, you've closed businesses down and all that. I said, you know, don't talk rubbish to me. All these businesses have insurance, and believe me, they're claiming 10 times more than what they lost anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually doing them a favour. So I said, okay, Ken All-Liners is coming, so I can't remember who Rick phoned at the time, but I just want to lay down for about an hour. So give me an hour and wake me up. So it's about 2 o'clock now. And she let me sleep all the way through until about 6, 7. The kids were still getting ready to go to, what do you call it?
To school.
No, it was what's the name? But I mean, the routine of waking up.
Okay.
So this was on a Saturday, Sunday morning. So I turned around and I said, you know what? If I say let me sleep for 5 minutes, you let me sleep for 5 minutes, or you wake me up. If I say hour, I might have something important to do, but I'm already thinking to myself, Linus has already dropped off, or Ken has already dropped off stuff by Rick.
Oh, the drugs that you ordered, right?
Okay, who says there's going to be anything left? Besides, okay, there will be the crystal meth in there, but so anyway, I said, I'm going to go over to Rick. And I remember walking out and the sun was just coming up. And I took a jog over to Rick. I was in there for about maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, hour max. And I'm still sitting smoking it. Yeah, my cousin comes running in. She says, you hear that? I said, what? She says, can't you open the window? She says, yeah. I said, can't you? She says, there. Helicopter. She says, there's people in black uniform. There's people in brown uniform. There's people in blue uniform. I said, what are they doing? They're looking for you. I said, oh, shit.
So now are they at the house that you guys now have having the?
No, they first went to my father.
Okay.
Because that's the address that I left as a place I would go to on parole, and then he sent them to find out about my cousin, which is 2 houses away. And yeah, so what happened was I said, okay, Rick, just whatever's left, keep off. Have you got any money on you? He said, no, he's got about 200-300 rand. I said, well, give me 100 rand. I'm going to have to get away here for a while. So I first went up to Wynberg station side, and I met Mark, who's an old friend of mine as well. Also used to stay there by Mareka and them. Anyway, we were walking down, and we bumped into a corner shop just before you'd have, I think it was Joshua Door or Russell's. It was after Alta. On the opposite corner, there used to be a cafe there. There's a cafe there now, but the entrance was on the corner, facing corner-wise, and not main road side or the side road side. So And, he still said, "Oh, where are you?" And I said, "No, I go down to the Videographer station and smoke a pipe there." And that's a long time ago. I mean, he's been talking to the cops and all. Prior to that, he ran away with 100 rand of mine when I first came down here.
Okay.
And from that, when I got 100 rand back from him, I still said he'll never smoke anything with me ever again. So he knows he's not going to.
Oh, so he also smokes?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's actually on Uncurated. And still now he's on Uncurated. But he knows he'll never get anything from me. So as we pass Alton, Mark says, "Look here, why don't we go down to that's because obviously up here he's not there. Craig, he's one that doesn't talk, so I was friends with Craig at the time, so we went down there. And we were sitting in, I was sitting in the lounge. I still remember throwing into the lolly. I burnt it first and I put it down. And I looked to the side and they got those doors with a small, almost like frosted windows. I think about 4-6 squares that you could see any movement in it. But, I don't see anything there, but I have a couple of hits, and then I turn around, I look and I see movement there. So I'm not thinking, but subconsciously I realized that I stood up, walked to the end where the couch ends, and if you turn right, you got the passage. You're looking straight at the door, and then you got a kitchen door that you walk in here.
Right.
So as I turned into the kitchen and I turned the same time to the right, I'm looking at the back door, which is wide open. And something turned around and just pushed me and said, "Go." So I ran and I grabbed on the wall, 2-step, jumped over, and as my feet touched the ground, I looked behind to see if anybody's following me. And 2 seconds, 3 seconds went by, and then I saw 2 hands. I said, "Oh." And what happened was, by the side gate on what leads to the back. And when the cops pulled up, so they chased him off, broke the gate down, and he ran and tried to jump over where I went. Luckily, he didn't see me jump over. And luckily, he didn't look over in order to see me there. Otherwise, because while they were smacking him around, saying, "Oh, what you running around for? Why are you running?" And I hear him saying, "It's because I got drugs on me and I'm drugged up and all that." And they said, "Well, where the fuck is Clint?" So he says, he's gone to the Videographer station, come, I'll show you. So I hear all these cars screeching away and fucking pulling off.
Waterboom.
And I can't hear any ruckus or any arguments or any shouting going in from inside. So I jump back over the wall into the yard and I walk along the side. And as I peep around the corner, was standing there. And those were the people that were there when I was there. And there was no cars, no vans, no. So, yeah, come quickly. And if you walk down that road now, there's a field where you can get through, but now they've fenced it up.
Okay.
That time the fence wasn't there, so Mark, "What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?" I said, "Well, I can't go to Plumstead. There's no point in taking the rest to go up to Wynberg. Closest from here is Videographer station." He said, "Yeah, but they've gone there." I said, "But no matter. The thing is, by the time we go there, they've already gone."
Oh, because they'll see that there's no one, you're not there, right? And they'll leave, right?
So we go there, and then see, I had money from, what's the name, some people gave me some money up in Wynberg. Mark still had money. I said, "Okay, you know what? Let's take a train to, what do you call it, Goodwood.
Okay.
Goodwood station there by Grand Central.
Grand West, right?
Because my grandparents, my grandfather and them at the time stayed in Wacht.
Okay.
And then I took a train to there, and then I come realize my grandfather had passed away.
Jeez.
And my grandmother wasn't there. Apparently she was sometimes, she had Alzheimer's, she forgot where she stays sometimes and all that sort of stuff. So.
But before you went into prison, was your grandfather alive or
No, he was alive. Yeah.
So in that time that you were in prison and you escaped, that's when he passed away,
Yeah.
and no one let you know.
No one knew. So I thought, okay, Mark said, "What you going to do? You're going to come back with us?" Or I said, "No, you know what, I think I must stay away from Wynberg for at least a week or two."
Right.
So they're not looking for me the whole time.
Yeah.
If they're looking for me the whole time, then obviously, but if they're not looking for me, then I can just put on a hoodie and a cap
and blend in and
yeah.
just.
So.